Rain poured over the city like it was trying to wash away every broken dream. Emily Carter stood at the bus stop, her worn-out umbrella trembling in the wind. She was soaked, jobless, and one payment away from losing her apartment. But what hurt more was the feeling of failure. 3 months ago, she had left everything behind, her comfort, her friends, her pride, to chase a career in the city. Now, all she had were rejection emails and unpaid bills. That's when a sleek black car pulled up beside her. The tinted window rolled down, revealing the last face she ever expected to see. Alexander Reed, her ex-boss, and the man who once made her heart race faster than her ambitions. His deep gray eyes studied her for a moment before he said in his calm, commanding tone, "Emily, get in." Something in his voice made her obey without question. Inside, the air smelled of expensive leather and cold distance. He hadn't changed, still powerful, still untouchable. But there was something new in his eyes, a quiet desperation beneath his usual control. "Why are you here?" she asked softly. He took a deep breath, hesitating before speaking. "I need your help. I want you to act like my wife." Emily blinked, thinking she misheard him. "What?" Alexander's jaw tightened. "There's a business merger with a family-oriented company. Their chairman is old-fashioned. He won't trust me unless he believes I'm stable, married. I need someone I can trust, someone who won't sell the story to the tabloids." Her heart pounded. It sounded insane. Pretend to be his wife? The man who fired her 2 years ago because she refused to date him? But then, he added quietly, "In return, I'll pay off your debts, find you a new job in any company you want, and I'll make sure you never struggle again." It was a deal no one in her position could refuse. Still, she stared at him, remembering the pain, the humiliation, and the cold way he'd ended things when she thought he cared. "Why me, Alex? After everything?" His eyes softened, and for a brief second, the ruthless billionaire disappeared. "Because I trust you, Emily, and because I owe you more than you know." Against her better judgment, she agreed. The next few days were a whirlwind, designer fittings, etiquette lessons, and rehearsed smiles. She moved into his penthouse, pretending to be the woman who shared his heart, but as the days went by, Emily noticed things, like how he couldn't sleep at night, how he stared at an old photo on his desk when he thought she wasn't looking, and how his smile always faded when he thought of family. At the charity gala where they were first introduced as husband and wife, Alexander held her hand tightly, his voice steady but his eyes vulnerable. She played her part perfectly, smiling, laughing, and calling him darling. But when the chairman's daughter leaned close and whispered, "You two look perfect together," something in Emily's chest tightened painfully. She wasn't supposed to fall for him again. But the way he looked at her, like she was the only real thing in his world, made it impossible not to. That night, when they returned home, he poured himself a drink and said quietly, "You're too good at pretending, Emily." "Maybe I'm not pretending," she whispered. Silence filled the room. Then Alexander set his glass down and turned toward her. "You shouldn't say that. You don't know what you're getting into." "Then tell me," she said, voice trembling. "What are you hiding, Alex?" He exhaled slowly. 3 years ago, my fiancée died in an accident. The merger company, her father's company, blamed me. I've spent years trying to rebuild the business, but he'll only trust me again if he believes I've moved on, if I'm married. That's why I needed you." Emily's heart shattered. So this wasn't about business. It was about guilt, about redemption. Days turned into weeks, and what started as a lie began to feel like the truth. They shared quiet breakfasts, small smiles, late-night talks. Emily saw the real Alexander, the man who carried too much pain behind his power. But when the merger deal finally came through, he handed her a check and said, "You can leave now, Emily, the act is over." Her world crashed. "That's it? After everything?" He looked away. "It's better this way." Tears burned in her eyes as she walked out of his penthouse, leaving behind the man she had once again learned to love. She returned to her old apartment, ready to start over, this time without pretending. Weeks later, a knock came at her door. When she opened it, Alexander stood there, drenched in rain, holding a single white rose. "I told myself it was just an act," he said, voice breaking. "But when you left, I realized it wasn't. I don't want a pretend wife anymore, Emily. I want you. For real." Emily's tears fell freely as she whispered, "Are you sure this isn't just another condition?" He smiled faintly. Yes. The only condition now is, stay, and let me spend the rest of my life proving that I mean it. She looked into his eyes, the same eyes that once broke her heart, and saw sincerity, love, and pain all tangled together. And in that moment she realized that sometimes life's most unexpected deals aren't made with contracts or signatures, but with second chances.